Babysitters, what was your okay? That's the last time I babysit for this family moment? One mom lied to me and almost destroyed my life. I was asked to babysit for a friend's aunt. I was told that I would be looking after a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old and they were calm, easy kids. I said, sure, no problem. Famous last words. I get there and the mom just hustles out the door, yelling at me over her shoulder that she would be back in 5 hours. Now here comes the crazy part. Remember how I mentioned I was told there were 2 children? It turns out that there were more than 2 children. In fact, there were 5 times as many children. Yes, you read that right. That woman took off and never said a word about the fact that there were more of them, leaving me to look after 10 children all under the age of 7. 3 or 4 sets of twins and they were like 10 to 11 months apart and then there were the babies. Honestly, I can't remember anything but the rage and anger I felt. So there I was, stuck with 10 children. I tried calling the mother, but she kept sending me to voicemail. I was so angry, I was ready to call children's services. The children were all around, screaming for whatever reasons. So I said screw it. I'm in it to win it. I went to make them something to eat. I changed the diapered ones, pottied the older ones and then let them go play in the backyard for a while. I was still seething with anger over the blatant deception as I cleaned up the kitchen. But it gets better. 5 hours later, and no mom. Okay, a few minutes late. No big deal, right? I tend to the children. Toileted and changed, fed them. Baths and off to bed. It's now almost 9 p.m. Mother is still not back. I'm furious and incensed at this point and beyond. I keep calling the mother and my calls go unanswered. Pissed, I called my friend and told her to call the mother, who was her aunt, and tell her to call me or come home because I am beyond pissed at being deceived this way. Mother never came back that night. So the next day, I'm at it again. I call everyone in the family, including my friend. No answer. So I said screw it and called the police. I explained the situation and they said they would send someone. Nothing. I spent the next day looking after the horde of children and could get no one to relieve me. I was so angry, I couldn't see straight. These children were just a handful and more. I remember screaming at them to sit down somewhere and the neighbor heard and came over. I explained the situation to the neighbor. What the neighbor said next shocked me. Oh, she does this all the time, said the neighbor. She lies about how many kids she has because no one would ever agree to look after that many children. The neighbor glanced at me. You know, she might not come back for a few days, they said. She does this so much, no one will watch her children anymore. I was speechless. I ended up stuck with these children for nearly 5 days. I called the police and child services and made it clear that either they send someone to deal with the situation or I was leaving and the children were on their own. Obviously I was bluffing, but I was sick and tired of being there with them. So after nearly 5 days, a cop finally drags their ass over and makes an appearance. There was this lady with them and they came in to talk to me. In the meantime, I was still tending to children. It wasn't until the children were being loaded into a van that their mother finally decided to make an appearance.